Hello and welcome. Today we have an interesting review on this small little micro quadcopter, which is the Syma X21W 720p Wi-Fi FPV real-time drone. This one has a lot of the features that you would find in a big, larger quadcopter, such as altitude hold, high definition camera, FPV, headless mode. This is a great one that you can learn indoors, even fly outdoors in the backyard, provided that it's not a windy day. Now the tiny quadcopter comes in this small yet convenient package. So you can see the quadcopter displayed there. And you slide the plastic mold right out, like so. You have it like that, so then the box goes away like that. You have the plastic mold, and then underneath the plastic mold you have the instruction manuals right here. Then you have this little baggie with basically all the accessories. And you have here the quadcopter, its transmitter, and this clip, so you can clip your mobile device to view the FPV screen or to control it, whatnot. Here's the quadcopter, very small yet good looking quadcopter, has a good build quality and weight to it. Here's the 720p camera, and here's where you put your SD card right here in the back. You've got these little rubber landing legs here, and then the propellers. Here's the transmitter, pretty straightforward transmitter. You have your throttle and rudder on and off button. You push down on the button to change rates on the rudder button. You've got your flips, your headless mode, your auto takeoff, and press 1 for pictures and once for video. And you got your antennas there, and here's where you clip on your clip. The back of this transmitter takes 4 AA batteries just like that, and you do have to screw in there's a little screw for the bottom of the accessories bag. It basically comes with all the things you would normally expect. Inside the bag you have your USB charge cable, where you can charge the battery of the quadcopter. This is the USB adapter, because it does come with a USB card. I'm sorry, an SD card. Yep, a 4 gig card. And then you just put it in this adapter and then plug this into your PC to get the video. You've got extra propellers, 4 extras. And then you've got a little screwdriver. Now let's take a look at the battery. The battery goes here on the bottom of the quadcopter. So you open it. It's a small battery here. Plugs in like this. And it's a small battery. It's a 3.7 volt, 380 milliamp battery. And it has this unique connection right here at the bottom. And so basically the charger, you basically plugging it here at the bottom like that. And then this part goes either into a PC, laptop, or an adapter, a wall adapter. So if you see the red light, that means it's charging, and then if it's off while it's plugged in, that means it's fully charged. And it has the little plastic clip that mounts right here on the top of the transmitter, like so. See, it plugs in like that. You can snap it on and off whenever you want, so it's optional whether you want to use it or not. And then this clamps open, and you can put your mobile device. And then trying to go into the app a little bit. In the App Store of either Android or iOS, you will see just search for the Syma Go app. And then you basically turn on the quadcopter, as so. Keep it pressed so you see it flash like that. Then you turn on the transmitter, like this, until everything is flashing. Then you bind the controller to the quadcopter by going up and down on the throttle. So you go up, down. You'll notice now the lights are no longer flashing. As you go to your settings, and then under the Wi-Fi, you should see this entry for FPV Wi-Fi, but then you just select that one. There isn't really a password for this one. So once you connect there, then you can go into the app right here, and then you hit start, and then immediately you should get an FPV connection to the quadcopter right here, as you can see. And it's really clear. It has a good range for being a micro quadcopter, good enough to fly outside, not really far away, but definitely in a backyard environment. Now the app, just going a little into the app, you can push this icon here to take a video, push this one to take a photo. You can actually fly it using the cell phone, so you really don't even need the transmitter. It does fly very precisely using these controls, and you can auto take off, and you can put it in FPV mode right here, or you can use a combination of the two, which is what I recommend. There's more options here at the bottom. You can push this little arrow here on the bottom, and then you can change whether you want to use this for viewing, like to put them in special goggles, so you can also fly that way. You can show the controls. You can calibrate the gyros. Oh, that's another step I highly recommend. Doing it before you take off, doing it with the transmitter is very simple. There's basically two calibrations you do first. Do one, basically they're taking both thumbsticks and putting them down into the right and down into the left until the blinking stops. So here I'll show you calibration number 1, which I believe is the gyros. Do that until the lights stop blinking, and then down into the, I was down into the right, and then now down into the left, and that calibrates, does another access calibration as well. And now you have to make sure that the quadcopter's on a completely flat surface. So calibrating the gyros will definitely give you a smoother flight, and you probably don't even have to worry about trimming it. You can also trim using this app. Now another interesting feature this has is something called, I guess, flight plan, where you can essentially draw. You can draw a little path that I have drawn here. It'll basically try to do it like this. It'll basically do the same path here. So it's they mention it as a waypoint, but it's not a true GPS waypoint type thing. It's just a very simple two-dimensional pattern waypoint. Because this quadcopter obviously does not have GPS, and it doesn't have very powerful brushless motors. It just has little tiny brushed motors, but they are very strong, and it does fly pretty fast, very stable with its altitude hold. The battery lasts around 5.5 minutes, which is not bad for a quadcopter of this caliber. And the battery life is not too long. Just go ahead and spend an extra 20 bucks and get yourself another one of these, but don't get the Wi-Fi version, just get the simple version, and that'll work. And I believe also, and maybe for around the same price, maybe even less, you can even use the X20. Syma has a similar model to this, I believe is the X20, and those batteries may also fit in here. So you can get the X20, X21, and not only you get the extra battery, but you get an extra quadcopter. So if something happens to this one, you'd have this. So I love these little blade guards, because if it drifts into walls or stuff like that, it just bounces off. So making it an excellent trainer, just so you can fly inside your house. You know, when it's a rainy day or something, it's just a lot of fun. So, and the app is great too. You can actually fly it with a gyro. So if you push this option right here, if you tilt the phone forwards or backwards or to the sides, it uses the accelerometer on the phone to fly it in that direction. So that's an excellent feature as an indoor flyer, or you know, as a toy or beginner quadcopter. This is great. So I highly recommend it. Really easy to fly. So right now I'll put some flight footage of the onboard camera and of the tiny quadcopter flying around outside with no wind, and you'll see how smooth it flies and what kind of video it takes. Enjoy.
Isso, caraca.